All right, what's going on, Giants fans? Doing another free agent film breakdown today. We are doing Ryan Anderson, not the three-point shooter for the Orlando Magic, the outside linebacker, edge player for Washington. Giants signed him on a minimum deal. Makes sense. You know, we need to fill out the roster, especially at an outside linebacker spot. They lost Kyler Fackrell, or it's seeming like they're gonna lose Kyler Fackrell. And there's a reason why Kyler Fackrell made 4 times as much as him, because he's better. He's better than him in basically every area, in pass rush, coverage, and run defense. So it is the minimum deal. The Giants have had to do it as a connection with Alabama. Who is he as a player? Well, in 2020 he only played 14% of the snaps. After 2019 he played 49%. Two of those reasons: one is he is the more diverse guy. Like in 2019 he played 25% in coverage. And Ron Rivera's scheme, they didn't have him playing in coverage at all. He was just a defensive, put your hand in the ground type defensive end. Where in the previous scheme, he'd drop into coverage. I mean, 2019, 25% of the time, he was dropping into coverage. I think he's better at pass rushing. He's not great. He's good at redirecting, which we'll talk about. We'll show. Run defense, I'm not very enthusiastic about it. He gets moved off his mark a lot on the outside. And then pass coverage, it's not good, but it has the potential to be good because he is a good athlete. And if he could get some good coaching, he has the potential to be good in coverage. But anyways, let's get into it. Before we get into it, like, subscribe. My selling pitch through these: subscribe right now. If you don't like the channel at the end, unsubscribe. Simple. All right, first play, we're gonna go through his pass rush first. Again, he's got good. I think he's a pretty good athlete. You see him get the hit on the QB on that one. Gets this guy to open his hips up. Not great hand play, but decent. And he's able to just bend, get low, bend, and get around that corner and get a hit on the quarterback. A pretty good hit on the quarterback on that one. Here we got him lined up. This is a sack. It's a free rush. But you know what? You got to make the tackle. You got to get there. And forces a fumble on him. So good job. Good job. But this is where he is better as a pass rusher. Here. So he gets that initial move. Can get a little bit of to get offensive tackles to move back. And then redirecting. That's where he makes his money as a pass rusher. So he's not going to consistently beat guys around the corner. But what he does do well is he realizes when he's not going to win around the corner, and he redirects. And that's where he makes his money. Because he realizes, I'm not getting to Carson Wentz by trying to run around here. Puts that spin out of there. Good coverage down the field. Causes a sack and a fumble. How about that? How about that? This is the only rep I put from the 2020 game with the Giants. Just Andrew Thomas pancaking him. He's not very strong. It's basically what it comes down to. I mean, Thomas just folds him. Good job, Andrew Thomas. So glad we have that guy on our team. Here's the 2019 matchup with them, Week 16. Again, we got him lined up here with Solder. Solder does a good job. Not gonna beat him around the edge. So what does he do? Redirects. That was a third down conversion for Jones running, but still, like, you see the redirect. We got him lined up right here. Not going to win around the edge. The ball is already out. But you see they put those hands on him. And then disengages. Oops, that was a little too fast. Disengages. If this play isn't, the ball isn't coming out quick, well, he's got a hit on Jones on that play. Got him lined up here, going up against Nick Gates at right tackle, who came in for an injured Mike Remmers in this game. Gets a hand on Jones. He sees the double team coming with Saquon, and what I like is he sees that, and he gets skinny. Doesn't let Saquon really get a piece of him. Gets skinny and gets a good bull rush and gets Gates on his heels a little bit. And then good hands. Good hands to get to disengage with Gates. And get a hand on Jones. Get a hand on Jones. Force the ball out early. Got him lined up here. This is where you see him as an athlete. Gets a hit on Jones. Just jumps in that inside gap. Gets Gates over there, committed. Bam. So that's where he shows up as a pass rusher, using his athletic ability. That's where he's going to make his money as a pass rusher, is using his athletic ability. So I think his pass rush is the strongest point of his game, although his coverage, which we'll talk about now, it needs to be worked on. It needs to be worked on. He needs to be coached up, but he is a good enough athlete to be good in coverage. So here, I think my biggest issue with him is he doesn't read routes. He watches the eyes of a QB. You got him lined up right here. Just basic coverage. So I'm showing some good plays. I like this one. Like, hey, I've got the slant. I'm going to go with it. Ball comes out. On this one, we got him lined up right here. This is supposed to be a block and release. Just smart. Plays with it the whole time. Plays with it the whole time. Now, here's where it gets bad. Is in this Philly game. I didn't want to just have him just covering an area in that Giants game. So we got him lined up right here. And his eyes are, like, he does a good job starting with it. But now, if you're passing that off, find where you're going to go. Know where you're going to go when you're passing that off. Like, while you got your hand on this guy and watching him, see how this is going to go. See, this running back's going to come out here. All right, now I need to cover Zach Ertz. Like, there should be no hesitation here. This should be, all right, I'm passing him off, go. Not trying to read the QB's eyes and then figure it out. Should be go. He should have been getting hit as he caught the ball, and maybe he gets to jar that one loose. This one, we've got him lined up right here. This isn't horrible, like he's covering his zone, the curl hook zone. But you got this drag route. Come up and play up on it. If you're going to cover this curl drag, you don't have anything behind you. At least play up right here. At least play up right here where this guy's not going to come underneath you. And then if he does keep going, you can chase. Or just attack it. On this play, we have him lined up right here. So this one looks like he's in man, and like he's got his coverage on this running back. Got him lined up right here. Sorry, right here on this running back. Good job keeping him from getting behind you. But he's got his eyes on the QB too much. So he's got his eyes on the QB. Sanders gets behind him. And again, play your man. He's got his eyes on the QB, and he's staring over here. And the ball gets thrown over him for a touchdown. Like, turn around and find your man. Find your man, because now he's got his eyes on the QB, thinking this is going to come underneath. And Wentz puts a ball over you, and the Eagles are celebrating a touchdown. The Eagles are celebrating a touchdown when that happens. Lined up right here on this play. This is pretty good. Nothing special. Just covering the flats with Sanders. Sanders angles in. And he stays with it. Good one on that. And then this next one, got him lined up right here. Eagles score a touchdown. And I'm pretty sure he played the wrong zone. Because Landon Collins is right behind him. And that looks like what is Landon Collins' zone. And he's got a look of, I screwed up on that. Sorry, let me go back. What the hell? Oh, sorry, it went all the way to the front. I promise you they didn't have these two guys playing the same area right here. I promise you they didn't. So again, I think he has ability in coverage, but he needs to get better instinctually and just more aggressive with it. Get aggressive in your coverage, and that's something the Giants do coach up. So that's the potential for him in coverage. And then here in the run game, he was actually pretty decent in this 2020 matchup with the Giants. You know, Andrew Thomas is a good, like a really, like, even during Andrew Thomas's struggles, he was a really good run blocker. So we got him lined up here on Thomas. And this is where good speed and fast hands gets inside. Now, Jones holds on to this ball, but this should be if Jones gives this ball, and it has nothing to do with him, it has to do with this player right here, this is a nice tackle for a loss. Like, Thomas doesn't even get a hand on him. And Thomas is a good run blocker. But Jones keeps and goes the other way. But that's a good play. Now we got him lined up right here on the tight end. Good. This is what you want him to do. And this is the hope, is that he's gotten better in this. You know, he didn't play a lot of reps in 2020. But good. You're playing your gap. Now push that linebacker down. Make a tackle. Gets good yards by the Giants, but good tackle. Lined up here on this one. Play it fast. Play your gap. Play it fast. Tackle. Easy. Easy. Now we got him lined up right here, and this is where it's just not great. That's Caden Smith blocking him, and he disengages. Like, his job at this point is to keep this gap covered. Like, don't let, you know, if he bounces outside, to be there. But stay in this spot. Don't get moved off your landmark. And you've got Caden Smith pushing him basically outside the numbers. Okay? Like, great job disengaging at the end. But that could be the difference in a big play. Okay? Because if this player plays inside of Gates, well, now, you know, Saquon could be running free instead of getting a tackle by him. Play that. Now we got him lined up right here. Again, this is where you want to stay right here. And he just kind of doesn't get bullied or nothing, but he gets moved off his mark and then put outside, and he's just not going to have any impact on that play. Like the running back can run right off the inside of that right tackle. Got him lined up right here. Again, Caden Smith. I mean, like I said, disengages at the end, but disengage earlier. One, like, you know, this is a tight end. You're supposed to win this battle versus the tight end. Gets moved off his mark. You know, and again, if the running back wants to run right through here, he can, because he doesn't keep his gap closed down. Got him lined up here on this one. And again, Caden Smith handling him. I mean, that's Caden. I mean, look at the Giants' offensive line and look at Caden Smith. Caden Smith has the best block on this play, and that's against Ryan. Lined up here on this one against Solder. Just gets moved off his mark. I mean, we're engaging right here, and now he's just taking him for a ride. And that's not what he's trying to do. I promise you, that's not what he's trying to do. We are engaging right here. So a split between the hashes and the numbers. And he's outside the numbers. And that's Nate Solder gets an attaboy for that run block and film the next day. Like, he gets celebrated for that block the next day. Got him lined up here on this one. This tackle gets an attaboy. Attaboy. One, great hat placement by the right tackle. This is where you want him. And now we're going to move him. And we're going to hinge him out. And guess where the running back's running right off of? Right here. Right here. And guess what's not happening if this gets stopped right here? If this gets stopped right here, which means the running back has to run right through here, he's getting tackled. He's getting tackled. And instead, it's a big gain. And that right tackle's celebrating. Feeling like a badass after that. Got him lined up right here. These are the ones you feel good about. This is what you're supposed to do when you have a tight end lined up on you. That's what you're supposed to do when you have a tight end lined up versus you. You're supposed to play your gap. Great. Now freaking pin him down. Pin him down. You're supposed to be the one getting movement. That's what you want. This one we got him. Okay, and then we'll finish off with this. Just good discipline. And this is, stuff that coaches like. So, the handoff's over here. A lot of guys want to run over the top and try and get a tackle. He plays this discipline. He sits here, stays in his contain, makes a tackle. He gets a tackle for a loss by playing discipline. You don't need to be an athletic freak. You don't need to be super strong to play discipline. And this discipline leads to a tackle for a loss for him. He gets a tackle for a loss on his stat book because of discipline. So again, this is a signing the Giants should have done. You know, you got to get minimum guys. You got to get bodies in there. And with the other big signings, I just didn't think they were going to bring back Fackrell. He's still out there, so it's not totally over right now. And maybe Fackrell takes doesn't have the market that he's wanting, and they bring him back. But I wouldn't expect much out of Ryan Anderson in 2021. I wouldn't expect him over Carter, Zimenez, and I think he's going to be battling for Cam Brown and Carter Coughlin for a spot. I do. I don't know how many guys are going to keep at that spot, but I do think he will be battling with those guys for a spot on the roster. So appreciate it. Like, subscribe. See you on the next one. Please give me an offensive lineman, Dave Gavin. I want to break down an offensive lineman. I would love to break down Trey Turner. So get me that so I can do that breakdown. All right, appreciate you guys. See you next time. Let's go Big Blue.